Browns back in Berea-report. They are getting ready for a playoff-type game. Of course, they are not still in the playoff hunt, but the Baltimore Ravens are. They need to win on Sunday against the Browns. The Browns can play spoiler. But first, let's talk about Baker Mayfield, because he has always made waves with some of his antics around a great performance against the Bengals. He stared down Hugh Jackson. There was a little bit of a gesture on the sideline following a touchdown to Darren Fells, and just things like that. Baker Mayfield, when he does anything, it's going to make headlines, and that's the case here.
Absolutely. Well, as everyone probably saw by now, especially the Hugh Jackson stare down went viral. That was like a 25-yard long ordeal. It just kind of went on and on and on and on. So he owned up to it finally today. After the game, he kind of acted like he didn't know what we were talking about. So today he owned up to it, and he basically said, I could care less what people think. I'm going to do what I do. I'm not looking for anyone's approval. I'm not looking to make friends outside of this locker room, and I am who I am.
And that shouldn't surprise anyone. This is sort of what we knew about Baker Mayfield when they drafted him. He is a competitive guy. Look, a lot of these guys are competitive too and don't do stuff like that, but this is just sort of the way Baker has always carried himself. The flag planting, the crotch grab against Kansas, these are things that he's talked about. Some of them he's apologized for, but the reality is this is just the way Baker plays the game of football.
Yeah, it really is. And I would say that if I were coaching him up, or if I were in charge of kind of how things go with him, I would probably tell him to, just stick to the real super professional stuff and tone that down a little bit, because he's so good. He has the city by storm. He's got the team by storm. He actually has the nation by storm right now. So I think that that other stuff, especially when it comes to just, the negative stuff, I don't think it's really necessary.
Yeah, and some of that might come too with the maturation process. Obviously, he is a little bit older than most rookies because he was in college for so long, but he's still young in NFL years, and there's some lessons for him to learn along the way. Now, some news pertaining to the game. Denzel Ward's still in the concussion protocol as of today. Mary Kay, I would be surprised if Greg Williams and the Browns coaching staff don't decide, let's just play it safe with Ward and keep him out for this game.
Yeah, I do not expect to see him in this game at all. Now, to have 2 concussions within the span of 3 weeks, this is the season finale. They don't need this game to make the playoffs. They really want to finish with a winning record. They would like to knock the Baltimore Ravens out and play the spoiler, but it's not worth risking anything for Denzel. I do not expect to see him out there. And again, it's very unfortunate that he's had to miss these last couple of games. This will be his 3rd game missed over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And that's really unfortunate, because he was having a really good season. He made the Pro Bowl. Remains to be seen if he'll be able to play in the Pro Bowl now, based on the fact that he has had multiple concussions in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe one thing to keep an eye on now, assuming he doesn't play against Baltimore, is if he decides to perhaps sit out that Pro Bowl, which, like you said, it would be too bad because he's had such a great rookie season. So the number 1 and the number 4 picks making news here in the Browns' final week of the season, and we'll have full coverage of everything that happens this week leading up to the Ravens game at cleveland.com/Browns.